And that breaking news here live at 5. 2 officers now in the hospital after a shooting that reportedly started with a man being stopped for jaywalking. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Carly Barnett. First Alert Chopper live over Fulton Industrial Boulevard right now. The scene has been active for more than 5 hours. Right now, a Fulton County officer and a South Fulton officer are being treated at Grady Memorial Hospital. And in just the last 45 minutes, we obtained this picture of that South Fulton officer who has been identified as Lieutenant Charles Cook.
And tonight we have team coverage for you, starting with Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Beimfohr, live from where all this started. Chelsea.
Yeah, Blair, this all happened around noon, but police still all over Fulton Industrial Boulevard here at this hour, as well as the motel just up the hill. Police say this all started when a Fulton County officer stopped a man who was jaywalking. A South Fulton officer pulled up to assist, and that's when police say the suspect began firing shots. The South Fulton officer went down with a gunshot wound. The suspect then ran towards the hotel, and the Fulton officer followed. That's when there was another exchange of gunfire. A motorist who drove up on this shooting as it was happening describes what he saw and heard.
Well, the shots were going off because there's many shots. He shot about, I would say, at least 9 or 10 times, if not more.
The suspect or the officer?
Yes, the suspect. No, the officer was lying down, and he was begging for help. But fortunately, once the perpetrator vacated the premises, other people came over to help.
Now, police are still investigating who fired the shots that killed that suspect. A witness at the hotel says he saw the man shoot himself in the parking lot. Police would not comment, though, when we asked them about that. Again, you can still see many police departments out here this afternoon, as well as the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, who is now leading the investigation into what happened here today. Reporting live in Fulton County, Chelsea Beimfohr, Atlanta News First.
Our team coverage continues now with Bridget Spencer, who's live at Grady Memorial right now.
And Bridget, how are those 2 officers doing right now?
Well, we do know Lieutenant Charles Cook from South Fulton Police remains in critical condition at this hour. The Fulton County police officer, we're still working to learn their name, but we're told that they're expected to be okay. But what I can tell you right now is that there has been an outpouring of love and support from other police departments around the area. They've been coming up here throughout the last few hours checking on these 2 officers. Now, we just heard from the South Fulton police chief about an hour and a half ago who says Lieutenant Cook was just trying to help out a fellow officer when he was suddenly shot at. He also told us they've received so much love and support during a very difficult time, and they've already dealt with another loss of a police officer, Helio Garcia, earlier this week in a crash.
Well, this officer just simply pulled up on an individual that was jaywalking to have a conversation with him, and it was at that point the individual opened fire on both police officers, and so things can change.
And Governor Brian Kemp just released a statement also expressing his concern for this South Fulton police officer who is currently fighting for his life. Of course, we're going to continue to keep you updated as we learn any new information today. We're live from Grady Memorial tonight. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.